So I have the distinct honor of bringing this home. 2 days of an amazing conference and summit that we've held. And I want to introduce our champion, our chairperson, and our founder, Leo Reddy. I'm sure that everyone on this call right now really knows Leo from all of his past experiences. He has had an amazing life's work journey and is continuing to be our advocate to help reminding us of the important role that we each play. He's an experienced institution builder in both foreign and domestic affairs, and has a long career in helping education and industry with the alignment of all of the great topics that we talked about over the last 2 days. He is the champion for putting the summit together and never back down from its priority as making sure that career readiness for all is a national priority. He has helped us identify some amazing speakers. I hope you found the last 2 days to be very rewarding. And he's got one more friend that he wants to introduce us to. And I know you're going to enjoy Scott. He's also an amazing leader, inspirational, and just a great champion for this work. I met Scott about maybe 7 or 8 years ago at a meeting in Washington, D.C., and I've never forgotten his passion for this work. But I would like to invite Leo to do the formal introductions. Leo? Leo, you're on mute. There we go.
Yes, greetings, Scott. You still there? He is.
Yes, sir.
Great to see you, sir. Wonderful.
Good to
But
see
Scott
you.
is, he knows I'm one of his greatest admirers, and he's one of the most admirable business people I've run into. I just recently retired as the president of Pace Industries, one of the leading Arkansas-based manufacturers in the metals industry, and his career was marked by a consistently intense interest in workers. He was did a very wonderful job with his own workforce, very well known for his caring attitude to his workforce, but also trying to engage the local schools actively in supporting his need for skilled workers. Sometimes a difficult task, if I remember, Scott, working with your local high school.
Yes, sir.
But he also became a very prominent advisor, the member of the Workforce Advisory Council for Governor Hutchinson. You may remember from Amanda's presentation yesterday, Hutchinson is now the president of the National Governors Association. So very, very, very prominent governor, and he very greatly valued Scott's advice. And Scott, as you probably caught already from his resume, was a star football player for the Arizona Razorbacks. He was certainly well known in Arkansas at that time, the Arkansas Razorbacks. And but when he became a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, of course, he became a hero throughout the South. So everybody in the South knows who Scott, including members of Congress, who I met also in connection with Scott. He's a force all by himself. We're very, very fortunate to have him here. He's talked a lot over the years about a fairer deal for our nation's youth. There's probably nobody better equipped to really talk about leading youth than somebody who was a very successful quarterback. So with that, I would welcome any thoughts Scott has about to round out our meeting and give us his own thoughts, which we're all looking forward to. Scott, I'll hand over the floor to you at this point. Thank you.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Well, thank you so much, Leo. This summit has been amazing. I watched so much of it. I missed a few, but I watched almost all of it. Many thanks to Robin, Scott, Brian, and Leo for a great job. We were able to hear from industry, education, government, nonprofit organizations calling attention to the need for better career planning for our children and for adults who have been left out of the workplace due to the lack of a skill that is in demand. We all know that there are job openings all around us, yet many cannot find employment because they don't have the skills needed to qualify. They simply miss the available training when they were younger. They did not have a plan. I've been a member and vice chair of the Arkansas Workforce Development Board for the last 8 years. Meeting after meeting, I was able to see nonprofit groups make their presentations. These presentations showed the great work that they were doing in their communities. The work was beneficial to people of all ages. helping them find work, develop a skill, or plan for a career. I recently declined a third appointment to the board, and in my farewell address, I claimed that if states have a heart, it resides in the Workforce Services Department. I saw single mothers with no skills get a chance to learn a skill while getting an income, transportation, and childcare. These women were desperate, and the help they received was life-changing. I saw men from factories. The factories closed, and they had to learn new skills that were in need and valued. In the midst of all of this, I found Leo Reddy, or maybe he found me. But either way, I was introduced to the movement of the Coalition for Career Development. Everyone knows the story about giving someone a fish versus teaching them to fish. We will always need to give some people a fish, but we can teach most people to fish and see our economy prosper from the skilled work of American families. In my association with the CCD, I was able to learn a lot about why so many people are left out of the American dream, a job that pays a rewarding wage. They never had a plan to develop a career. And why is that? It's because we as a nation never valued career planning enough to make it a high priority within the 7,000 hours that our children are in secondary education. Yeah, I said 7,000 hours. You would think that just a small portion of that time could have been spent asking children what they enjoy doing, introducing them to various career choices, or researching careers to learn what skills are needed for their career choice. I visited a school in Springdale, Arkansas, where career planning is a true requirement. The results are amazing. The number of students who take community college courses during high school and earn certificates, do apprenticeships, and career essential learning in that environment is amazing to see. Not only do these students get a leg up, they enjoy school. Wow. They see a purpose in the studying, the reading, and the learning. Their future is more clear to them. And because of all this, they are more confident, which contributes to their hope and faith in their personal future. Our children are depending on us to make a better future for them. If it takes us another 10 years to make career readiness the first priority in U.S. education, we will have failed another 150 million of our students. I pick up my 10-year-old granddaughter from school 4 days a week. It's actually very humorous. I watch the children leave every day. It's like the start of the Boston Marathon or a Bassmasters fishing tournament. Every day it's the same. Little kindergarten kids up to fifth graders walking, running, riding bikes, frontwards, backwards, slow, fast. It's really crazy. It is the most carefree part of their day. They are not thinking about how much gas costs. They are not worried about a rent payment. They are just ready to be home and play. For some of them, 7 years from now, they need to be college ready or job ready. And if they do not plan for a career in the next 7 years, they will not meet their expectations. So many of them will be a part of new statistics that we will quote, saying 60% of the 2029 graduating class enrolled in college with high hopes, but were disappointed in the education they received. 40% of them say they did not graduate with the skills to meet the requirements of the best jobs. 20% of them were not college ready or job ready and were a part of the growing unemployed. We must do better. This issue is time sensitive. We cannot wait years from now to see results. The problem I see right now is ground zero execution. The federal government encourages student life plans and career guidance, but the manpower to execute is still lacking. Some states refuse to add the needed career counselors, and many times where they are provided, they get reassigned to other duties and responsibilities. They are sucked into the daily crises that a principal faces. It is truly a national tragedy. There are models of success like South Carolina. These models must be shared at the state level as best practices. A couple of years ago, I said something and it got picked up. In fact, Leo just mentioned it, by Leo and Scott and a few others. I said our kids deserve a better deal. I still believe that. They have no voice in this debate. They do not even know that there is a debate going on or that they have a choice in careers. We are negotiating for them. You are the education influencers of this generation. If you do not rise up and speak for our children, who will? I firmly believe that every child should have a sit-down discussion with a trained counselor no less than 4 times per year, starting in the 5th grade. These discussions should be documented and follow the student from school to school and from state to state. Each student needs access to aptitude testing to help them understand their strengths. Remember, we have over 7,000 hours from 7th grade to 12th grade. A lot of good things have been said in the last 2 days. Nick Pinchuk talked about the difference in endorsing and supporting. I hope you're ready to move from endorsing to supporting. Katie Richards said she was ready for change, ready to go. That sounds like someone who is truly ready. It is time to rev this up. It's time to accelerate the progress. Thanks to each of you for being a part of the movement and a part of the solution. Please, please, please keep standing up and speaking for our children. Together, let's make career readiness the #1 priority in U.S. education now. Thank you for joining us for the CCD Center National Summit. I enjoyed my part. Leo?
Thank you. Bravo, Scott. Three cheers. Very wonderful. Very inspiring. Just exactly what I hoped for. My friend, thank you so much. And thank you to everybody. I mean, I don't know, Brian, do you want to have a final word, or Scott? I think we're pretty well wrapped up. But,
Well,
Brian,
there's
you're
nothing
pretty
I
good
could
at final words, but why don't you go ahead?
Thank you. There's nothing more I could say to top Scott. I loved it. Thank you so much. I feel like I should be running out to the 50-yard line right now. Thank you again for your continued support, your advocacy, and your message. It is so true in everything you say that we can do better. And the CCD is committed to doing better. So just a few thank yous to wrap it up. First of all, thanks to all of our participants over the last 2 days. We wouldn't be doing this work without your interest. So please continue to stay close. You can find out more on the CCD website. We're excited to continue to share the research. Thanks to Scott and Jean for their continued support and advocacy. The research work that's been done is the foundation for our continued growth. So important. Thanks to the team that's behind the scenes and I guess behind the computers that made everything work. We did it. We got through a major event here, and so proud of all of that. And of course, a big thank you to our CCD board and our advisory council for their continued work throughout the year. And lastly, to all of our sponsors and those that continue to commit an investment in this important national initiative. Until next time, we look forward to seeing you again at our next convening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Brian and Leo, for your leadership and stewardship in this center and the momentum you've built. And we do have a position open for a CEO. So hopefully some of the people on this call, we're going to see some resumes. We've got a great future ahead, as we just heard from, I think our secretary invited us to be at the table. So very exciting day today. And thank you, Scott Bull, as well.
Have a great
So long,
weekend.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
All good. All righty. Take care, everybody.